the game is on.
LXG, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Whoa, it's draft time, fellas!
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fantasy League of Extraordinary Gentlemen's first ever podcast, the pre-draft edition.
Nice. It is the official Keeper Reveal episode. And with that in mind, let's jump right into it. Josh, why don't you kick us off?
All right, so I have one of our newest comers to the league, Matt's excuses start soon. And this year he's going with Drew Brees in the third, Jonathan Stewart in the fourth, and then Terrell Pryor in the seventh.
I'm going to go ahead and read off Craig's team here. He's going to be keeping Antonio Brown in the first, Devontae Freeman in the second, Andy Dalton in the 10th, and Eric Ebron in the 12th.
All right, and up next I got your team, the OG Billy Witch Doctor, going with Jordan Reed in the seventh, Mike Wallace in the 11th, and then Jay Ajayi in the 12th.
Nice. And I have our newest member joining us this year, Adam's Dirty Slovaks. He will be keeping Le'Veon Bell in the first, Ben Roethlisberger in the fourth, and Devontae Adams in the seventh.
Next up we got Adamas Lamas, and he's keeping Melvin Gordon for a third-round pick, Tom Brady for a fifth, and Willie Snead in the seventh.
And then we have Kristen's Chicago Bears. She'll be keeping Julio Jones in the first round and Terrence West in the 13th.
Next up, we got Neil's Kneecaps, Aaron Rodgers with the second rounder, and also keeping LeGarrette Blount in the seventh.
Then we will have Trees She's Got Game, who'll be keeping Larry Fitzgerald in the first round and Marcus Mariota in the seventh.
Joski up next. He's keeping A.J. Green for a first rounder, Matt Stafford in the fifth, Jimmy Graham in the 11th.
Then we got some random guy, Josh's Chi-Town Meltdown. Oh, I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
Chi-Town Beatdown.
There you go.
DeMarco Murray in the third, and Michael Thomas in the 9th round.
Oh, yeah. Next on the list is we got Ben's Heinrich maneuver. Just going with a single keeper this year. He's got Kirk Cousins for a 9th rounder.
Nice. And then we have JJ's Carlos squad. They'll be keeping James White in the 11th and Dak Prescott in the 13th.
We got our only X-rated team name in the league so far this year, but the fucking Fleener is keeping Ty Montgomery in the 7th and Matt Ryan in the 8th.
And then our last team will be Steven's Bears and Black Licorice. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Bears and Beers and the other really horrible word that begins with a B, Bears. We'll be keeping Mike Evans in the first round and Travis Kelce in the 4th with Paul Perkins in the 7th round.
I think one of my favorites is Craig. I think Craig's got his team set up pretty good with the guys he's keeping. He's got, Devontae Freeman for a second. He's got Antonio Brown with the first, Dalton in the 10th, and Ebron in the 12th. And, I think that's okay there, but I really like those top two picks to start your team. So
yeah, he's playing. He's getting a discount on Freeman because he would have been a first-round pick. Second half of the first round. He's paying a little bit more for Andy Dalton. He's getting Ebron right where he would go, but he's getting him.
Yeah.
Dalton and Ebron are two of the people that some people like a lot. People reach for them sometimes. So he's guaranteed to have his tight end one, who might not be the greatest tight end, but it's tight end one in the 12th something round. He has a quarterback. He's got the best receiver in the league over the last decade. And he's got Devontae Freeman, who's the best running back in the league for the last, if you take last 3 years combined, he's the number one running back. So that's not too bad of a start,
No,
And
another one I liked a lot was Joski. He's going to have AJ
yeah,
Green in the first, coming back off injury year last year. Matt Stafford, who's usually a beast for fantasy numbers, in the fifth, and then got Jimmy Graham in the 11th, which was a huge value pick last year. I think you can expect top 5 tight end production out of Jimmy Graham this year. So that's a hell of a steal for an 11th round pick right there.
yeah. For my just single value player, Jimmy Graham was the top of my list. I mean, getting him in the 11th
Yeah.
round. His current ADP is 61, which is the fourth pick of the fifth round in a regular 14-team draft. So he's getting a over 6-round discount there. And then
Yeah.
I did actually like Carlos's Dak Prescott. Again, let me phrase that. I don't like Dak Prescott. I'm a goddamn Packer fan. I hate Dak Prescott. But he's getting really good value. I mean, he's going to get Dak Prescott in the 13th round. He's proven to be, well, I should say proven, because he was a rookie last year. So this year he'll prove it if he can. But last year he showed he can be a very good quarterback and put up a nice, consistent fantasy score. And then I do have to give, I got to give you a little love, my friend. Michael Thomas in the 9th round is not too bad.
No,
For a
not
guy
at
that's
all.
going, 16th overall usually, getting him in the 9th round is not so bad.
Yeah, that was a late. I had him on all my teams last year, on all 5 of my fantasy leagues. Sorry, degenerate alert right there. On all 5 of my teams last year, I like him a lot, especially with what's his name, Brandon Cooks heading over to the Patriots. So he should get a ton of targets at least in that offense. So I'm pretty happy with that one.
I also I like Kristen. I had a little bit of a, what's it called, a bird in the ear or whatever, some kind of creature in the ear. Because she was going to start with keeping LaShawn McCoy, which is fine. But
Yeah.
I saw that she had Terrence West really, really late, and she still had him on her team. So I said, look, man, he's not going to be great. He's going to be like a mid-range RB2. But in a 14-team league, you need a couple mid-range RB2s on your team.
Yeah.
And keeping that guy in the 13th round and still being able to get Julio Jones in the first, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's because would she have had to have given up McCoy in the first then, or?
Yeah, well, she couldn't keep both. She had to get rid of either McCoy or Jones, but by keeping McCoy, she had no receiver worth keeping, really.
Yeah.
But she
Yeah,
had
and
a
this
running
is,
back. Yeah. I mean, honestly, again, if I had the choice between McCoy and Jones, I'd draft Jones anyway. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
But
And we're a three receiver league, so that's who you want to start your team there.
yeah. Well, unless there's David Johnson, then that's a whole other story, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
What do you think as the? So you have any?
We should throw a
which
disclaimer
one
out there. Actually,
Yeah.
for those, you're gonna see a couple times we're gonna say something like foreshadowing, and it's not because we are foreshadowing, which we are, but we did this. We actually recorded this whole thing like 2 days ago, but my computer literate ass totally messed it up, so we're redoing it. So some of this is gonna sound
full
rehearsed.
disclosure.
It kind of is, but just go with it. Go ahead, my friend.
So yeah, there's one keeper in particular that really raised my eyebrows quite a bit, and that was Tree's She Got Game with Larry Fitzgerald in the first round. That was pretty interesting strategy there.
Yeah, his ADP is 64th overall, which is 5th round, 7th pick in a usual 14-team draft. Man, I like Larry Fitzgerald. I would draft him before that. I'd probably draft him in the 50s, I'd reach for him. I think he's going to have a good year. I think it's going to be his last year. I think he wants to go out, with a nice track record and, put that little button on top of his Hall of Fame career and all, but I ain't taking him in the first round, man. But, at the end of the day, man, you take who you want. It's your squad,
Your team, build it how you want it. Plus, I don't know what the rest of her roster looked like, but so maybe that was her best available receiver.
Well, I do like Marcus Mariota in the 7th. I mean, I'll be honest. You asked me last time, who am I looking for? He's number one on my list, pretty much, of people I'm looking for. And he's gone. I was really sad. I was hoping she's going to keep Alex Smith, But she didn't, so she kept Mariota.
Hanging on to that first-round pick this year, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, I like that. That one caught my eye. Also, Matt's Jonathan Stewart in the fourth.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
It could happen. The value could happen. I mean, let's be honest. Jonathan Stewart is proven to be a very good running back every 5 years when he's not hurt. And he's, and people, it's not because Christian McCaffrey, really isn't, because he did it when he was with D'Angelo Williams. When they were together, they were both low RB1s, high RB2s. So he can do it. It's just, he's just never healthy, And they did that when it was those two. They did it before Cam Newton got there, who started vulturing rushing touchdowns.
Right. So that's arguably he's going to be the third running option on that team now. So maybe, I don't know, fourth-round pick seems a little high there, but. Like I said, build your team. It's your team. Build it how you want it.
And I know you already gave him some love, but I gotta throw some shade on Detroit boy. Matthew Stafford in the fifth. Hey, come on. His ADP is 119, which is the 10th round, 13th pick of a 14-team draft, which means it's the 11th round. It's an 11th round player. He paid 6 rounds. That's a Detroit special right there. A 6th-round increase just to keep his quarterback.
He's from Detroit, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess we'd call that the biggest homer pick of the keepers.
Maybe, because homer does entail having to be your hometown squad. So yeah, I think that would have to be the one. All right, my friend. Let's take our next step, and we're going to do the draft order real fast. Just for those who haven't read the millionth Facebook post about our draft order, here it is one more time. It will be first Matt, second Craig, third me, fourth Adam, fifth Adama, sixth Kristen, picking seventh will be Neil, picking eighth will be Tree, ninth Joe, 10th Josh, 11th Ben, 12th JJ, 13th Aaron, and 14th will be Steven. Speaking of first, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So we got we have eight teams that are going to have first round picks in the draft, right?
We do. So it's crystal ball time, my friend. Let's lay out our first round here.
All right.
First pick is available. It's open. It's your boy Matt's, and like we said last time, David Johnson.
Yeah, it's got to be. How is he not kept, by the way?
Because Adama had him, but he also had Melvin Gordon in the third round.
Oh, right. You only keep one per position. Got it.
So he took the value over the number one overall player, which
gotcha.
I don't know which way I would have gone, to be honest. I mean, really, Melvin Gordon in the third round. It's only 2 rounds, which is a discount, but it's David freaking Johnson, man.
Yeah. Yeah, best two-way player in the game, he's the running back and receiving threat. So I think it's a no-brainer that Matt goes David Johnson there. Maybe that's why he kept Jonathan Stewart.
Gonna bookend those two power horses together, huh? No, in fairness, though, the only discussion really would be is Odell Beckham Jr. That's the only other person that I think he could go, because we are a 3-receiver league, and this is a keeper league. And the thing is, David Johnson, out of him, Ezekiel Elliott, and Le'Veon Bell, the big 3 in most drafts. Le'Veon Bell's not signed past this year, and he's not even in camp yet, so he might not even be there next year in Pittsburgh. Yeah. And that's part of his value. I mean, he's a great player, but part of his value is being in that Steelers offense, which is freaking insane. And then, David Johnson, the Cardinals aren't great, but they do still have Larry Fitzgerald and Carson Palmer. I think this is their last year. So next year, who's going to be his quarterback? How bad is that team going to be once those two guys leave? So again, projection-wise, after this year, Ezekiel Elliott's probably going to be the number 1 back, maybe, and then it might be better to have Odell Beckham for the career. But I don't think he's going to go that way. I'm pretty sure it's going to be David Johnson. The first pick, or the second pick's already penciled in. Second pick's going to be
Yep.
Antonio Brown with Craig. The third pick, what do you think, Josh? Who's that guy going to pick?
That's that's your pick, and I had you penciled in for the guy we've just been talking about, Odell Beckham. And granted, that was before his ankle injury that I wrote this down. So, what do you think about that? Is that going to sway you away from Odell this year?
Well, again, that put me on the fence now. It's him, LeSean McCoy, and Jordy Nelson. In my mind, those are the big three after David Johnson. Keeper league-wise, if it's going to be Jordy Nelson or Odell Beckham, you kind of have to go Odell Beckham because of age, situation, everything. But LeSean McCoy is intriguing, and if it's the morning of the draft and there's something where because they haven't really clarified yet. They haven't said it's not a high ankle sprain. They haven't said that it's not anything. They said it's a sprain. They didn't say where it is, what type. So if some more information comes out, that may affect my decision. That being said, Odell Beckham missed the first 2 games of his career. He missed with the first game of his second season, and he still ended up being a top 4 or 5 receiver. So so it's not. I'm not worried about the one game. I'm worried about if it's a high ankle sprain, that's half the season. Not just missed games, but just being a decoy. Like we've seen that before with Charles Johnson. We've seen premier wide receivers just turn into decoys because they have a high ankle sprain. And I don't know if I can, I have championship aspirations, my friend. I can't have a decoy as my wide receiver 1. That being said, I've always had Odell Beckham. I've had him since his first game in this league. I'm the only one he's ever scored with. Let that sexual window hit for a second. That's okay. But yeah, I've gotten all his points. All those beautiful points he's put up. They're all mine. They're all mine. So I think I'll keep him. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing, picking Odell Beckham in the third pick.
Yeah. Then fourth is set as well, right? We got the other part of the Browns duo there with Le'Veon Bell as the fourth
Browns?
pick. Did I say Browns?
You totally said the Browns. That vaunted Browns offense, man. Everyone wants a piece of that one.
Look out for DeShone Kizer and Kenny Brett this year, I'm telling you.
He might be starting. That's what they said now, Mr. Kizer.
He's gonna start the next preseason game. So.
Yeah. Well, then we do have Adama picking after Adam in the 6th spot, and this is where, the 5th spot, and this is where I think it does get a little tricky. While it's easy to say LeSean McCoy or Jordy Nelson, which I think it will be one of those picks, but Adama he's a very smart guy. He kind of he's the kind of person who does every paycheck. I'm pretty sure he puts half in his little the bank account or whatever you want to call it. He saves his money, saves his time, and I think if he has an eye to the future, that might open up things like Jordan Howard or Amari Cooper. That being said, I still bank on him taking LeSean McCoy.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, no team in football runs the ball more than the Bills. And he's already got, like we said earlier, he's got Melvin Gordon in the 3rd. So those are 2 pretty fierce running backs to have starting on your team. I think you could sacrifice on receiver a little bit there if you're going to be putting those 2 guys out every single week. You're talking, touchdown machines, touch machines in general. So I like LeSean McCoy there as well.
Yeah. Then after that, the 6th pick is Kristen, who's keeping Julio Jones, and then 7th's going to be Neil. And this is where it gets a little tricky because, again, as we've been talking, Jordy Nelson is the next and last of my mind, big guy, really top tier guy. But Neil has Aaron Rodgers, and I don't know him that well, and I don't know if he's if he likes to have the combo packs, Oh
yeah, the synergy play. You got to go with the synergy play.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on Jordy Nelson there.
All right, and then the next one we have Tree. We know who she's keeping, Larry Fitzgerald. We have covered this one quite in depth. If you missed it, hit rewind. Who's next after that?
We got Joe's got AJ Green next, and then it's me. Then I got with the 10th pick. So like I said before, I already have Thomas with a late round pick there. But I think I'm going receiver again here in this spot. I think you got choice. You could have a choice between like Jordan Howard, Todd Gurley down there. But I think I'm looking at. I put myself down for T.Y. Hilton. Now, granted, a lot of this depends on the health of Andrew Luck, but he's also a guy who really took another step forward last year, and they got to throw the ball to somebody down there, and he's one of those guys that can he can take it to the house every time he touches the ball. So I like him pairing him up with Michael Thomas, and maybe waiting a little bit on running back.
Yeah, I actually had Jordan Howard's there, and that's your homer pick, but I don't think you're going to do it. I did have you down as a wide receiver, but I was thinking more Dez Bryant or Amari Cooper, and I was kind of leaning Amari Cooper. But I can see T.Y. I'm personally on my rankings, T.Y. Hilton's not that much, isn't that high, so he didn't really get too influenced. But yeah, it's a solid pick. Next we have Ben.
I was just gonna say a quick note about about Amari Cooper. Like, he's young and he's getting a pretty high-powered offense, but when you look at that team, Michael Crabtree's been the leading receiver on that team for the last 2 seasons, as far as overall touchdowns and also receptions and yardage. So I think it's interesting because he's so young still, and if you're going to keep him, but talking about giving up a first-round pick every year for not the best receiver on the team or the most productive receiver on the team, that's what shies me away from Amari Cooper a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Then next we have Ben, and this is where again I know Ben pretty well, and I think this is the Gronk pick. This is where Rob Gronkowski goes off the board. He's not making out the first round. I know in a lot of drafts now he's going like in the second round, third round turn. No. He's not making out the first round by any stretch in our league. There's too many keepers. There's too many. We have too many. We have too weird of a crowd not for Gronk to get picked up in the first round. And I know Ben, and Ben, I think this is where it's going to go. Ben doesn't care what the rankings say. He doesn't care what anyone says. He picks the guy he wants. I've live drafted with him a couple times, and I think this is where Gronk goes off the board. And I actually like it. To be honest, if I was in this spot, I think I'd probably take Gronk myself. So more power to him if he takes it.
That'd be interesting. I mean, he only kept Kirk Cousins, so he didn't really keep any wide receivers or running back. So that's where I had Jordan Howard going. I think Jordan Howard. I don't think you're just paying for last year's production. I think you're going to get the Bears are going to have to run the ball a lot, regardless of who's starting at quarterback or any of that. So I put Jordan Howard down. I think he's a first round talent, and I think that's a good spot for him.
So we got choose one, man. We got to keep our list going. What do you think?
I mean, it's hard. I don't know Ben personally, so it's hard for me to put myself in his shoes. If it was me, I wouldn't draft Gronk in the first round. But if you think he's going Gronk, we'll go Gronk.
There you go. So then we're going to get Gronk there. And then we do have JJ next. And again, I don't know. JJ's one of the few people in this league who I haven't actually met before.
Yeah.
I don't know very well. But he is friends with the Rumbas. And I know they have very strong Chicago ties. And I think JJ might too. I believe he lives in Arizona, but I think just like them, he might have transplanted from Chicago.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like this is where Jordan Howard goes off the board. This is where
you like
him or Amari Cooper. I do think that might happen. Or this is where I think we start to talk about Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh man.
I think this is the part where it starts to become keeper league. 6 games isn't a long time for 6 years,
Yeah, that's true.
And that's what you're looking at. He's gonna have 6 good years in the league. That's the lifespan of a running back.
Yeah.
6 games out of 96 isn't that many. Wow,
No.
I did that really fast.
That was good math.
I did that faster than I thought I was going to be able to. 6 games out of 96 isn't that much. So I think this is the point in time where I think we start entertaining the idea of Ezekiel Elliott getting drafted.
So
What do you
I put Leonard Fournette in this spot. I think you're talking
yeah.
about another young back that has Ezekiel Elliott-like talent. He's got all the measurables. He's got the college production. Also going to a team in the Jaguars that are going to run the heck out of the ball because, I mean, shit, they started Chad Henne tonight, for God's sakes. I mean, I think Fournette's going to see a lion's share of the touches in that backfield. And he's a rookie, you know, like you said. He's a guy you could hang on to for the next 5-6 years, and, you know, he's going to be a workhorse back for them. So I went with Leonard Fournette. Again, if it was me, I'm always more focused on winning this year than winning the keeper war, you know. So the 6 games for Elliott, best case scenario, it gets reduced to 4. You're still talking about a third of the fantasy season, which I think is just too much to come back from if you somehow go 0-4 or something, you know. But if you go 0-4, you got more problems on your team than Ezekiel Elliott. So.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I like your argument, and this is J Jacksonville. Why not? We'll go with Leonard Fournette.
All days.
we need tiebreakers at this point, and that's the one we're going to use. Next, we do have Aaron, the Tex-Mex Chef of the Year.
6. Well, if we got Elliott still on the board here, is Tex a Cowboys fan or a Texans fan?
No, he's a Packer fan. He's not touching Ezekiel Elliott. No. I could be wrong. He is from Texas, but he's still a Packer fan. I hope to God that means something. In my mind, it means you don't draft Cowboys at their value. You wait at least 4 rounds.
You got to draft with your head.
Well, you have to listen. You have to wait 1 round for every time they knocked Favre out the playoffs. That's why you have to wait 4 rounds.
That's the rule.
God damn Cowboys. I don't know.
Love it.
But yeah, I do. I think this. You know, here's the thing about Packer fans. You know, as funny as it is, we hate the Cowboys because they actually beat us.
Yeah.
We don't really hate the Bears. We don't like the Bears. But hey, we kick your guys' ass all the time.
Eat butt.
You know, you're like our little snide little brother that we just beat up when we want to. You know, so I can see him. I can totally see him taking Jordan Howard. I really could.
I hope Jay Cutler beats you in the Super Bowl.
I would love to see it happen. Because it's actually kind of funny. Because again, he's keeping Ty Montgomery in the 7th round.
Yep.
Right, and he had a choice between Ty Montgomery or Jordan Howard. He could have kept either one.
Yeah.
So he chose Ty Montgomery, which doesn't really seem like the smartest choice. He's a Packer fan. So I think this might be his second chance to do it, to get Jordan Howard. I think he might take it. I really
take him back. Yeah.
Yeah. Which will actually be good for him because then he'll get Jordan Howard and he'll get Ty Montgomery still in the 7th round. Not as good as having Jordan Howard in the 7th round and maybe Amari Cooper in the 1st round, but whatever. He'll have 2 good running backs. Should be okay.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
Jordan Howard's got to go in the 1st round. So I mean, I think this is the last spot for him according to our list here. The other guy I had put in here was Todd Gurley. But you may be able to pick him up later on because of his down year last year. But I think he's still got 1st round value. I mean, you look at Jared Goff being the starter out there, and you know Gurley's going to get the ball 350 times this year. So
yeah.
But I like it. I mean, Jordan Howard's going to go in the 1st round, so let's roll with Jordan Howard there for Aaron.
All right, and the last pick, of course, is already wrapped up for us in Mike Evans.
Hey, Evans. Time for a game.
All right, it's time for a little game, Josh. When will blank be drafted? So first off, when will the first tight end be drafted?
Ooh, dun dun dun.
Great thing is,
well,
we already covered it.
That's funny. Gronk in the 1st.
Gronk in the 1st. 8th pick of the 1st round. You know, when I wrote this schedule, I probably should have thought about that. It kind of kills the suspense there, but that's okay. When will the first non-kept quarterback be drafted?
This is an interesting one, right? Because there's only, what did we say? There's only 4 out of the 14 teams that didn't keep a quarterback. Is that right?
Just me, you, Kristen, and Steven are the only people that don't have a quarterback already on our team.
Okay. And I know I usually wait on a quarterback, and I think you're more of a late-round quarterback guy as well. So we're talking about 2 players and only a couple really good elite fantasy quarterbacks. But, I mean, you still have Russell Wilson out there, and I think he's a legitimate second, maybe third-round pick. I'd say as high as that for a Russell Wilson this year. I would say third round. I'm going to go third round on that.
Yeah, I feel... I agree with you. I think right around the 3rd or 4th round. So they're at the end of the, Steven's at the end of the 3rd round. Kristen's near the end of the 3rd. Well, they're the end of the rounds, the odd rounds. So they'll be at the end of the 3rd, beginning of the 4th.
Right.
And I feel like, again, I'll wait, you'll wait. Steven would probably wait too, but there becomes a problem that they're married. So it all really depends. If they're at home and they're drafting and they're looking at each other and they both have the same quarterback they like, if they both like the same quarterback, they might get like a little bit paranoid, like, are they going to take him before the turn? And I think Rum's going to pop. In that 3rd to 4th round turn there, I could see one of them taking a quarterback there. Though Russell Wilson, is good, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Derek Carr. I really wouldn't. I'm not that high on Derek Carr personally, but that's just me. The consensus fantasy community and the fans like the guy. His current ADP is actually higher than Russell Wilson.
Really?
Yeah, Russell Wilson's current ADP is 73rd overall, while Derek Carr's ADP is 70. So it's not much of a difference. But he's getting picked before him. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I was going to say, I think if it was me, I'd go Russell Wilson over Derek Carr just for the rushing potential. You don't see Derek Carr running around outside the pocket too much, especially after a busted leg last year. So
yeah.
What'd you find there?
Oh, sorry, my AC turned off. I think I hit the timer button by accident. It's all in Japanese, man. I don't know. When it's really hot, I start freaking out. I'm like, just start pushing buttons. And I think I hit the timer button, so it went off. And I don't know how America is right now, but Japan feels like the lava under the Earth's crust is about to break out and start spewing out the fucking sewer caps. It's freaking hot, man.
It's beautiful here, man. It's like 60 degrees tonight, a little bit of breeze. It's perfect. It's like that beautiful time of year in Chicago.
Oh my god. I don't even know what the degrees are, to be honest, man. Everything here is in freaking Celsius, dude. This is Japan. But it's freaking... it's fucking hot, man. It's like 30 degrees Celsius. I don't even know what that means in Fahrenheit anymore, but it's hot. Trust me.
I think it's like 127 Fahrenheit or something.
God, either way, it's hot, man. It's a freaking sauna outside. Oh, and it's Japan. It's humid. That's the other problem people don't really understand. It's really, really humid in Japan all the time. You get kind of used to it until the really hot days, and then you're just like, oh my god, oh my god. Yeah. So that's today. All right, next one. When will the first kicker be drafted?
Oh, I mean, I hope not until what's how many rounds do we have in this draft?
We actually have 15. We have 15 rounds.
I mean, I'd like to believe in everybody's general awareness and drafting acumen when it comes to kickers and defense, but you never know. With 14 people, there's always going to be a wild card that's going to go, all right, I got my starters, let's go kicker. Get him in the 8th. Get him in the 9th. Who's the best one? You got Gostkowski, right?
Well, he's not the best. Justin Tucker is the best one. But everyone always goes Gostkowski because it's fucking Gostkowski. I'm thinking the same thing. I think if you go through the rounds, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, you're going to have a full roster by the eighth round. And I don't necessarily know if someone's going to draft them themselves, but I can see someone walking away from the draft board for a minute, just getting that auto draft, clicking on for a second, and just not, because in Yahoo you have to hit that button, like I'm back button, and I could totally see someone just getting auto picked a kicker, which will be Gostkowski in the 8th or ninth round. So yeah, I could see it happen. I really could. That, and there is the thing of, the truth is, you draft the kicker late, but you do have to stream the kicker. Unless you get lucky and get like Matt Bryant like last year, chances are you're going to have to stream your kicker. And some people don't want to do the hassle. They want to deal with it. Yeah. If you draft Justin Tucker or Gostkowski, you don't have to worry about it. You're not ever going to bench them if they're playing. Yeah. But it's not that big a deal. So I would just wait. But again, I think 8th round it's going to happen. Someone's going to draft the kicker in 8th round, auto pick or not. So next one, when will the first defense be drafted?
I think defense is going to go higher than a kicker. I think if you're looking at, like you said, some people don't. I like to stream defenses, so I'm going to wait till the last couple rounds, right? But I think there's a lot of people who would rather get a set it and forget it defense. You're talking about the Texans, and you're talking about Seattle, and who else has got a good defense that you're going to play every week? Kansas City. I could see one of those. I could see that going in the 7th, 8th round. So that way you get, you got your defense and special teams set. You're not worrying about it till the bye week. You never have to worry, like you said, go to the waiver wire at all. So I think you could see a defense go pretty early, actually. Somebody's going to really want to have the Legion of Boom, right? Somebody's going to really want to have that Texans, front seven. So I think you see a defense in the 7th round.
I think it might actually be a little. I think we could see a 6th round here, and I have a particular person in mind. Again, I have the pleasure of knowing most of you. Hello, guys. I do think we're going to see the Broncos. They are the best defense in the league. Their schedule's a little bit rough this year. It's not as cherry picked as last year, but they still are the Broncos. They still have a great defense, and I think Ben's going to take them. That's it. That's his squad. Those are his boys. He kept Kirk Cousins, which at a really good price, really good value. I think he's going to make a couple other good moves at the beginning of the draft, but there's only going to be so long he's going to be able to hold off taking the Broncos defense. I laugh if the Packers defense is as good as the Broncos defense. I might draft him in the 6th round too, because I know Aaron would draft him in the 7th. So I can't. It's a homer pick, but it's the best defense in the league, so it could be worse. So I really think. Yeah, I think in the 6th round we're going to see Denver Broncos go to Ben. That's my call.
All right, I like it. Bold prediction. A bold prediction there.
So that leaves us with the biggest question of the game so far. When? This person here. This was a past 1st round pick of our draft. So they have quite the bit of clout, quite the bit of prestige. When will Alex Smith be drafted?
We need to have a special trophy we need to then name it the Alex Smith Award for the biggest reach in the 1st round. I think we could get a likeness of Alex Smith, just like statuing back there in the pocket, and you can give that to the wild card 1st round. I don't know. Is he still? We got 14 teams, right? Is he still fantasy relevant?
His ADP right now is 218. In our league, that's undrafted. But that being said, I think he's going to get drafted. I do. I'm not going to take him unless shit really goes wrong. If things really, really go bad. So there's a big gap where I'm not picking. If there's a QB run where people start taking their backups for some strange reason, Yeah, I might get stuck with Alex Smith like in the last round, but we'll see what happens.
If somebody sneaks Cuddy out of there on you before you get a chance to put him on your squad.
Hey man, foreshadow, okay? Stop it.
Foreshadowing.
All right, so now it's part of the game where we get to call out our own players.
Yeah.
I'll kick us off. Okay, Josh. So, when will the first member of the Saints running back core get drafted?
So, you got the ADPs in front of you. What's the difference in ADP between an Adrian Peterson and a Mark Ingram right now?
So right now in the 14-team league, Adrian Peterson is going 48th overall, which is a 4th round 5th pick. And Mark Ingram is going the 60th pick overall, which would be the 5th round 3rd pick. So less than a round apart in our size league. So pretty close.
I think wow. So they have Adrian Peterson ranked above Mark Ingram right now.
Well, not necessarily ranked, but he's getting picked first. In most leagues. I mean, partly name recognition. Who knows.
Yeah, I mean, I think you still got to take Ingram before Peterson until it's a tough call, right? Because you don't know what kind of production Peterson's going to have. But I mean, Ingram's still going to get. He was one of the top scoring backs last year. He's still going to get 250 touches before Adrian Peterson sniffs the ball. So I think he's your first one, and I would go after Ingram in the. If I'm looking for a running back in the 4th round, I don't mind picking up a Mark Ingram there. Peterson, I think, is just too many question marks, too many wild cards, involved there for me to invest like a, 4th or a 5th round pick in. So I'm gonna go with Mark Ingram there.
So you clearly didn't draft him 2 years ago when he came back from the first injury.
No.
Because if you did, you'd be a sucker like me who knows I could get him. He's gonna win me the league. Because I don't know if I don't like either one of their ADPs where they are, but I would draft Adrian Peterson first over Mark Ingram.
Okay.
For sure.
Bold.
Just because he won me a couple of leagues when he came back the last time.
Paying for past production.
That being said, I don't think I would draft AP till we get to where Mark Ingram's ADP is. Maybe.
Yeah.
5th
round, 6th.
Yeah, 5th or 6th round probably, but he probably won't be there. He'll probably go. I think again, the question is when will he get drafted in our league? And I kind of think he might go in the end of the 3rd round, man. In our league, with all the keepers, if everything the way it is,
wow,
I could see someone taking him in the 3rd round. I really could.
Be a stretch. Okay, well let's stay on the running back train here then, and talking about maybe around a late 2nd round, early 3rd rounder right now. Marshawn Lynch. You taking Marshawn Lynch before Adrian Peterson?
Yes, I am. You can see it's huge, man. Like my teeth are shining, man. I got 3 championships in this league. Okay, I got 3 of them.
Yeah.
2 of those. You know who led me there? Odell Beckham Jr. and Marshawn freaking Lynch, man. If I could bring the band back together, if I get them back together, I'm gonna do it, man. There's no I don't care the situation. I don't care that he's gonna get under 200 carries. Yeah, I don't care that he walked away for a year. I don't care he's 39 years old. I'm 39. No, he's only 31. But beside the point. I don't care. If he's there when I pick in the 2nd round, oh man, someone else is going to have to really fall for me to pass him up. I'll be honest. If Mark Cooper falls, yeah, I'm taking Mark Cooper. I'm not going to be that bad. But if the board goes the way I think it's going to go, Marshawn Lynch is going to be right around where my 2nd pick is, and I'm going to have a really hard time not taking him. So I'll probably just take him.
Reunion tour, getting the band back together.
I will say he will be drafted in the 2nd round. That is my thought. I don't think he's going to make it to me, though. I think he's going to get drafted Again, we just did our, the first round crystal ball. In my mind, the second round crystal ball, he's going like the third or fourth pick in the next round. So I don't even think he's going to really make it that close to me. I think he'll get picked maybe 6 picks before I even go. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, because you're way down. You're way down at the bottom of the second round. So.
Yeah. When will the combination Sammy Watkins and Jordan Matthews, when will they get drafted? And I'm asking together because they just switched spots. Well, they didn't.
Yeah.
They did switch spots, but they one went from Philly to Buffalo, Buffalo to LA. But before that happened, their ADPs were Sammy Watkins was 55th overall, which is end of the 4th round, and Jordan Matthews was 128, which is the end of the 11th round.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jordan Matthews is a better value where he's at right now. I mean, I'm never going to have Sammy Watkins on my team again. That guy has let me down, too many times. And now he's going to play in LA with Jared Goff, who can't seem to get the ball, 6 yards downfield. So I don't know. I think he's still got enough name recognition, and people kind of like Adrian Peterson are thinking, oh, new team, new life, he'll break out. I could see Sammy Watkins going in the 4th round in our league. Like I said, you got to start 3 wide receivers, and who knows? Maybe the ceiling is there, maybe the upside is there. But I'm certainly not going to take him. He's not on my list at all. He's definitely not on my radar as a draftable piece this year. But I think Sammy Watkins in the 4th round is probably reasonable for somebody. So another receiver that changed teams, Alshon Jeffrey. I think he's got a current ADP of around 32 right now, at least when I looked it up originally. He's going to a pretty pass-happy offense down there in Philly. What do you think about Alshon, New Diggs?
I really think he's going to go. I think he's going to go in the 2nd round, man. I do.
Yeah.
I think the way our board is, who's gone, what's left, I think he's going to go top half 2nd round. Once Amari Cooper's gone, then it's Dez Bryant. It's Dez Bryant, Alshon Jeffrey, Allen Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins, Doug Baldwin, right? That's like the next grouping of guys. And that group, Doug Baldwin might be the best of them, depending on how you feel. But he's kind of a boomer bust guy. He really is. He has a couple 2 touchdown games, but he has games where he disappears. The whole Seattle offense has games where he disappear. And then Dez Bryant I love him as a player, but dude, he has a insanely horrible schedule, man. Like he plays all the best cornerbacks. He plays the Rams. He plays the Cardinals. He plays Josh Norman twice. He plays the Giants, who have great cornerbacks, twice. So, especially without Ezekiel Elliott for 6 weeks, I don't know if it's him or Alshon, Dez is the better player. But, again, as you said earlier, we're trying to win this year. And this year, right now, Alshon Jeffrey needs to make some money for his future, for his kids. He's only got a 1-year contract. He's got something to prove. I could see it, man. If he can stay healthy, man, he's going to be big. So, I think he's going to go at the top end of that list of guys. Him, Allen Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins, especially those two. Allen Robinson, DeAndre Hopkins, they burned so many people. They burned so many people last year. Like, so many people lost weeks, lost like games that would have gotten to the championship. They lost those games because they wouldn't put Allen Robinson on the bench. I don't know any of those guys, but it happened. I know it happened.
Nice.
So I think top half of 2nd round, Alshon Jeffrey will be at just for you. When will Smokin' Jay Cuddy go off the board?
Oh shit, Jay Cuddy. He's going to me in the 13th round.
I don't think I'm going to let him go that far, man. I don't know if I can do it. Because I know you might take him. I don't want to have to play you and get beat by Jay Cuddy.
I would never have him on my team when he's a Bear, but now he's in Miami. I'm all about it for some reason. I don't know. I got Cutler fever all of a sudden. Now that he's not on my team, I'm like, all right, he looks like a pretty good quarterback.
Well, dude, he's got a great amount of weapons around him, who actually do stay healthy. Alshon Jeffrey never could stay healthy. Landry's always healthy. Parker, other than his first year, has been healthy.
Yeah, he threw a 72-yard bomb to him tonight, so pretty impressive. Yeah, I think somebody takes a chance on Cutler. I mean, is it as a second quarterback, as their starting quarterback? Ah, God.
What round do you think, man? I need a number.
Thinking maybe 10th round. Someone goes crazy for Cutler in the 10th.
Sounds about
maybe
right.
Maybe one of those teams that kept a quarterback this year and are looking for a viable backup in case something goes tragically wrong with a Kirk Cousins or something like that.
He's gonna get drafted. Just so
Yeah.
just hint for all you Bear fans out there. If you want him, you might have to grab him a little quicker than you think. Guess you got something. You got another one for me?
Joe Mixon over in Cincinnati. He's building on pretty good preseason so far. I know he's getting a lot of talk right now.
I mean, I'm not going to draft him there. I'm not going to draft him where I'm going to say, but that's not the name of the game. When will he get drafted? He's going to get drafted in the 2-3 turn probably.
Yeah.
Late second round, early third round, just because, again, as you said, he's just the hype's unreal. For a guy that is going to have to split time with Jeremy Hill, we've already seen it in the preseason, and Jeremy Hill's looked fine. Well, Jeremy Hill always looks fine in the preseason, but Bernard's going to come back. For a guy with a clearly undefined role, an undefined workload, that's a really high price tag. Even for a keeper league, But again, people look at the college film. The guy was insane. His talent is undeniable. The opportunity, we don't know yet. Again, the season could start and Marvin Lewis could say, Jeremy Hill, get on the bench. You're done.
Yeah.
He could. I don't think he's going to do it, but he could. So yeah, so I think, I think he'll make it through the second round. I think. Yeah, top 4 picks of the third round. I think he's going to go. When will Eric Decker, the ever underappreciated Eric Decker, get drafted?
Oh, God.
His current ADP is 87, which would be 7th round for us.
No. Eric Decker. Oh. He's in the Titans offense now? They're going to run the ball all the time. Well, he was hurt last year, right? So that hurts his value. But the year before that, I think he had, the most red zone targets in the NFL. You said currently 7th round. I think somebody gets him higher than that. I think somebody who might be maybe that person who held on to Marcus Mariota going for the synergy play. I could see a Decker going end of the 5th round, beginning of the 6th round, maybe even middle of the 5th round, depending on how quickly the run on receivers go. It'd be valuable down there. It doesn't sound like any of their pass catchers are making any noise. It sounds like their rookie guy that they took really early is banged up pretty good. So, yeah, you can do some production there.
Who are people reaching for?
I think I got a small list here, but I think we talked about him a little bit earlier. I think one of the biggest reaches is going to be for Adrian Peterson. I think somebody's going to grab him, early on, maybe 3rd, 4th round, and I just don't think you're going to get the production that people are looking for. I think if you're looking at him to be your every week running back 2, I think you're going to have some issues there with your running back position. So. Adrian Peterson's probably one of my biggest early round reaches that I think people are going to be sorely disappointed in.
Yeah, again, that's the thing. I actually want to have him on my team. I just don't want to draft him in the first 3 rounds, so I probably won't have him.
Yeah.
For me, the first one on my list, Jameis Winston's going in the end of the 6th round. Is ADP. Again, half our league already has quarterbacks. But even with that being said, someone's probably going to draft the guy in the first 8 rounds, and I just don't see it. Is he a good player? Yes, he's a good player. Is he a good fantasy quarterback? Not really. He wins games.
Yeah.
He does. He wins games. Brett Favre won games, but was not a good fantasy quarterback. He threw too many picks. You can't do that. You can't do it. You can't lead the league. Since he's been if Blake Bortles wasn't a quarterback in the NFL, people would be talking about Winston's interception problem. They would. But the fact is that there's Blake Bortles who blows everyone out the water in terms of interceptions. But it's not. His touchdown interception ratio is not good enough to warrant being drafted that high, which is inside the top 10 quarterbacks. To me, it's just not worth it. Again, maybe this year he changes. He's got Deshaun Jackson. He's got some weapons, but I just don't think, as what we've seen so far over his whole career, college and pro, he shouldn't be drafted as a fantasy top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, I don't think one of the other ones. I mean, he's a keeper this year, so it's not really a reach in the draft. But I'm always leery of the tight end position going early. So your Travis Kelce's, your Greg Olson's. It's just such a hit or miss proposition. So I think people are going to look at getting probably Greg Olson again in the fourth round maybe.
Yeah, he was drafted fourth round last year.
Yeah,
I drafted him last year. Yeah, I know. That was me.
And I just think there's such a big gap between Gronk and the rest of the field that I think when you go that early, you leave too many holes on your roster to put a Greg Olson on your team in the fourth round. I just don't think you're going to get wide receiver 2 production out of that guy. But that's my own personal opinion. But
the first half of last year, I would totally use it to argue your point. Because the first half of last year, he was well worth that fourth round pick. He was amazing. The second half of the year, he crapped my team. But that whole Panthers offense crapped on the field.
Cam Newton.
I don't think he's going to have as bad. He might not have as good of a first half as he had last year again, but his second half's not going to be that bad. I think he'll get right back to being tight end 3 like he's been for every other year for the last decade. And there is a thing of, you want to wait on tight end. You do. But sometimes, if you can pencil yourself in for a top 5 tight end and not have to worry about it, life's a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So, someone's going to reach for him. But for me, I don't think it's that much a reach. I think, especially when you get into that third and fourth round, when you're talking about someone like Joe Mixon, who I think who's going to be a reach. Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook, Spencer Ware, the running backs around there, the wide receivers around there. At the end of the day, Greg Olson might not amount to a wide receiver 2, but the wide receivers available at that spot might not either.
Yeah, so, that's true.
I think a lot of it comes down to what's on your roster, who you're keeping. But I think Greg Olson has value. I think he does.
Yeah.
For me, though, Tyreek Hill, right now, current ADP is 311 of a 14-person draft, so the end of a third round. And I don't know why they're going to do it, but I think someone's going to take him in the second round, man. I think someone's going to reach up there and grab him I don't understand why. I don't get it. But I think it's going to happen, and I think they're going to be, by week 7, 8, they're just going to say, oh, shit.
Yeah, he might not even be on your roster anymore at that point.
You can't drop a top 4. You just can't do it. Again, Allen Robinson last year. You can't drop someone you blow that much capital on. You just can't. You want to, right? I had Cameron Meredith and Allen Robinson. They get the same score the same week. Oh, Cam Meredith, bye-bye. I'll drop you. I got to hold on to Allen Robinson. Because not only did I didn't draft him in the first round, but I traded for him after someone else drafted him in the first round. So not only did he have a first round draft cost, but he also had trade value. And you couldn't get rid of the guy. You just can't do it. So if they draft him, whoever drafts Tyreek Hill, just know before you do it, you're going to have to hold on to him all year long.
And you have to look at him
how
every
bad it
week.
gets.
Smack yourself in the head every week while you're looking at him. Just sit there on the bottom of your bench. Cursing Alex Smith's name every time because he can't get him the ball. That's all right. By that time, it'll be the Pat Mahomes show, and he'll be slinging it down the field anyway. So I hope someone drops him so I can pick him up for the championship run.
I'll be honest. I don't know much about Patrick Mahomes. All I know is that people keep giving him his tangible comparisons always to Brett Favre. So I am, of course, grossly intrigued by this guy now. What? Another Brett Favre? Please tell me more. Come on, man. So for me, I do have. I got two more. One, I think, I don't know if someone in our league is gonna reach for him because we don't really have any Patriot fans that I know of. But Mike Gillislee right now is going in the middle of the 4th round, which is just crazy for a guy that's hurt. So again, this is, I guess, more for our league in general. If you're in the draft board and you see Mike Gillislee creeping up near the top of the rankings of Yahoo, understand he hasn't played or practiced in like 3 weeks now, right? 2.5 weeks of the hamstring. Rex Burkhead has looked great. Deion Lewis is still there. James White was like the run-up for Super Bowl MVP for crying out loud, and he's still there. So I don't see any reason why he should go anywhere before like the 8th round, if even there. Yeah. I mean, right. I wouldn't draft him in the 8th round. I'm not going to draft him, period, to be honest, because he will be gone before I want to draft him, which would be like 11th, 12th round, maybe.
Yeah, and I think people are looking at LeGarrette, him just stepping into that LeGarrette Blount role from last year, and there's no way he has 18 touchdowns. There's no way he has 10 touchdowns.
Again, I think the thing is that, as good as he was last year in Buffalo, again, it might be the same thing where it's just small doses of him. Where it could be that, because again, they gave Burkhead money too. It could be like Burkhead is their kind of like regular down running back. Yep. And then he becomes like the red zone running back, and Lewis is the scat back, and White's like the whenever we feel like just going beast mode guy. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? It's Bill Belichick, man. Like I never drafted. LeGarrette Blount I drafted last year in a couple of leagues like in the 12th round, because that's when you could get him, and it worked out great. And if you get Mike Gillislee in the 12th round, he turns into that. Great. But you can't spend a 5th round pick on the guy. You just can't do it. I mean, well, it's your pick. You can, but you shouldn't. I think someone's going to reach for Martellus Bennett. I think it's going to happen. Yeah. His ADP right now is 79, which is near the end of the 6th round in our league. I really think someone's just going to reach for him. I think he's going to go like in the end of the 3rd, middle of the 4th round. Again, and I'm not saying this. It's not going to be me. Like I will not. No, I've watched enough Packer games to know tight end is not option number 1. It's not option number 2. It's not even option number 3. Tight end in the Packer offense is like option 4 or 5, unless he's throwing a Hail Mary, and then it's option 2.
Yeah.
And that you laugh, but that's true. In the Hail Mary plays they run, they always use the tight end as like the bracket guy to box people out, and Aaron Rodgers he likes to throw it there for the tip. That's why the guy last year had 2 of those touchdowns, Richard Rodgers.
Oh, yeah.
But, again, even when he had Jermichael Finley, who is comparably athletic-wise and height-wise and speed-wise to Martellus Bennett, if not a better athlete, Jermichael Finley was only a tight end 1 year, and he was like tight end 9 or 10, So it wasn't even anything catastrophically great. So I just don't. I think he'll be a serviceable tight end couple weeks. He'll be a really, really great tight end a couple weeks. But then 6 weeks, he's going to be unstartable. He's going to get you like 3 points, and you're going to like, oh, God. And you're going to bench him. And then he's going to have that 2 touchdown week that he's going to have because he's fucking Martellus Bennett. And you're going to be pissed. So, yeah, I'm not touching him unless he falls really far. But I think someone in our league is going to draft him like the 4th round, man.
I don't think you can draft Ezekiel Elliott in the 1st or 2nd round. I know somebody's gonna, but 6 games. That is like 50% of your regular fantasy, the regular season in fantasy. I mean, what our playoffs start, week 14. Yeah. I mean, you're talking about, you're not going to be able to start him if his suspensions hold up until week 7, and you can't put yourself in that big of a hole. I think. Even for the keeper factor, I don't think you can. I'm a win now guy. Like I don't value keepers as highly as I think some other people do. But I want to win this year, and there's no way that Ezekiel Elliott is. I don't think if you draft him with your 2nd pick, you're not going to be able to sustain your team until he comes back and is ready to play. So
you don't think that if you had him at the second round and you waited and you ended up getting someone like Frank Gore in the 8th, 9th round, you don't think that Frank Gore and Ezekiel Elliott will outscore whoever you would take there as your running back? Which would be, I guess, around that point would be someone like Lamar Miller.
I don't like him, but I think
But
I would
that's
rather
who's going to
take.
be there. Again, if you're talking late second round, it's going to be someone like Lamar Miller, because Todd Gurley will go early second round. Todd Gurley will go pretty fast. So you're looking at Lamar Miller, and then Carlos Hyde, Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Those guys. Again, as I said earlier, I'm going to take Marshawn Lynch unless the draft board falls a certain way. If Ezekiel Elliott's there for my second pick, yeah, I'm going to take him. Again, as I posted on Facebook, as I told you earlier today, the guy's career projection, man, you're talking 6 games of 96, and I know you want to win now. But you can still win now. If you get like a Frank Gore, because Frank Gore's going to fall. And he's old, but he'll have fresh legs for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You can use him for 6 weeks or find someone else. I could say, use Jonathan Stewart before he gets hurt, but he's already being kept. But you can find somebody to plug in for 6 weeks and get you through. And especially in our league, man, every year it comes down to the final 2 or 3 weeks where half the league, not half, like 3/4 is still alive.
Yeah.
There's always going to be 2 teams. Like last year, it was you and Josh. Sorry, you and Adama. Every year, there's 2 teams that just go. They're front runners. They get the big lead. They get out there, and no one's going to catch them. They have the best squads. Those last 2 spots, man, they're not decided till like week fucking 14, man. Everyone's going to have a chance. So if you're telling me I might go 2-4 for the first 6 weeks, which I did. Actually, last year I went 1-5 the first 6 weeks. I had a horrible start. Allen freaking Robinson. I had a horrible start to my season last year. But the second last week of the season, if I win that game, I'm in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if you're telling me that I can go 2-4 and have Ezekiel Elliott for those last 4 games that decide the playoffs, yeah, I'm taking that, man. I will take it and I will run with it. Again, as you said, it might only be 4 games. There's still some stuff going on we don't know. 6 games is worst case scenario. It can't get any worse. It can only get better.
Well, he's already got the 6 games, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do it. It's too scary for me. I don't like it. I'm not going to do it.
All right, so how about some fallers? How about some fallers, my friend? Who's going to take a tumble? Who's going to pull the boy George and tumble for you?
Nice reference.
Yeah.
I'm looking at guys who are falling and probably going to have some good value for where you're going to get them. I mean, I think the top of the list for me is Andrew Luck. I mean, the guy, especially when you're looking at keepers and long-term quarterback. I mean, yeah, he might miss the first 2 games of the year, first game of the year, but he'd come back stronger than ever. And you're talking about, a top-of-the-line fantasy quarterback who you might get in. I don't know where's Luck going? Where's Luck's ADP? But I think you can see him going in probably the 7th, 8th round.
Yeah, his ADP right now is 85. In our league, that's going to be the first pick of the 7th round.
And I think if you needed a quarterback there and and that's who you wanted to go ahead and grab there, you felt confident in the rest of your roster, I think that's a great move. I think that's great value there.
Just so you know, if I could do any video editing, like seriously know how to do it, there'd be big arrows pointing to your head as you said all that. Like big lightning bolt arrows like dun 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 dun. I'm just saying, if you need a quarterback and he falls there, you could take him. Just in case anyone else is looking for Andrew Luck. 7th round, guys. You know what's going to happen. Just so you know.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah. Boy, here's a guy I think who's... No, it's not even think. You know. This guy you know is going to give you phenomenal value. And he always falls. I don't know why he always falls. He's the best receiver on his team. Maybe not the best athletic receiver. Maybe not the prettiest in name. Maybe not even the greatest history, because he probably played for some really bad teams in the past, like the 49ers. But Michael freaking Crabtree is going to be a wide receiver, low-end 1 or high-end 2. He's going to be in the top 16 at the end of the year, top 16 or 20. He is every year since he's been in Oakland. He's going to do it again. And for some reason, he's going to drop to the 4th freaking round, like he does every year.
Steal. Love
and if he is there in the 4th round, don't forget, if he's there in the 3rd round I might pick him. Granted, I'm picking at the top of the 3rd round, so it does depend who else is around, but dude, he's a great value. If you get him in the 4th round, like most people usually do, dude, that's insane. Especially in a 3-receiver league, that's a great value, and he always falls.
Yeah, and I think another receiver. I mean, he's still probably going to go. You're probably still talking about mid-second, or early 3rd round. But what's his name? Hopkins in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're talking about a guy that was a top 5 pick last year in most leagues, definitely first rounder. You could sneak him in the 3rd round. I think that's a fall. Now it's not a free fall. It's just I think you're getting insane value there for one of the top receivers in the league. I mean, the Brockweiler experiment is finally over down there, so they might have a little bit more stability at the position. And I think once Deshaun Watson gets in there and starts starting, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of targets for that guy, and I think you're going to get really good 3rd round value there. Could be one of the top fantasy receivers again this year. I think another guy that's fallen a lot that going to be in the later rounds is who's the guy who went from Washington to San Francisco? Garcon.
Oh, Pierre Garcon.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like him a lot as a faller, as somebody who's you're going to get wide receiver 2 production out of, but you're probably talking about an 8th, 9th rounder there. And I think he's going to perform way above his draft status. So
yeah, I'm on board with that one. I think that's going to be pretty good value. Again, we keep talking about him. He's going to go in the 5th round, and he's just going to be sticker price. But yeah. The only thing, man, if with Hopkins, Deshaun Watson gets in there, things might be kind of rosy. But before that happens, man, he could really savage your fantasy team.
Yeah.
You're not getting my word pun?
Sorry, it took me a minute. It's like, it's almost 3 a.m. here. I'm a little slow.
Yeah, it's okay. That was a pretty bad pun, but that's all.
Yeah, that was bad, man. That was real bad. Just because you have a daughter doesn't mean you can get away with dad jokes now. It's still not acceptable.
No. Okay, no. The amount you get away with is dependent on the cuteness of your child. And my girl, she's like on the scale of like 1 to like 97.5 hotness. Okay, she's like 97.3. Okay, she's adorable. So I can get away with anything. You've seen the pictures, man. If you haven't,
I have.
You gotta wake up.
Yeah.
You gotta go look at them.
I'm still not convinced she's yours, but.
Looks alone, I'm on board with that statement. But if you talk to her for 5 minutes, yeah, that's my kid. You'll understand. Yeah, she's one of a kind.
Man.
No, for me, I do think I have one more value that's going to fall, I think. And their ADP right now is 176, which would be the last pick of the 14th round in our league. And Aaron, this is for you, man. So I'm giving you a little word of advice. I want you to let the wounds heal. Say goodbye to the pain. Embrace the inner heart, the inner feelings you have for Coby Fleener.
Oh
and
boy!
You should take him again. I think Coby Fleener is going to have a great year. Not like tight end 3, but like I think tight end 8, 9, 10. He's going to be startable almost every week. I think last year, yeah, he crapped your team. He crapped Aaron's team. He crapped a lot of people's teams.
Yeah.
Except for he beat me that 1 week when I needed to win. When I had to put a tight end on the Ghost team, and he caught a touchdown pass, which was the deciding points.
Brutal.
So Corey Fleener kept me out the freaking playoffs, man. So I understand the pain. I understand the hatred. But all that being said, I think this year, I think Corey Fleener's going to have a good year, and I can see someone getting a really good tight end one in the last 2 rounds of the draft.
Yep. That's where you should draft tight end.
Yeah. For me, 2 fallers that I'm not touching. You know, they can Boyd George it all the way down to the 15th round. I'm not touching either one of them.
Still not doing it?
You know, Eddie Lacy, I'm not touching.
No.
Not going to do it. There's just too many question marks. You know, he might not even make the team. I know people don't want to. People don't. They laugh at that, but he might not make the team, man.
Yeah, he might get cut.
You know, so I'm not touching that guy. I mean, he's probably not going to get cut, but they don't have that much guaranteed money in his contract. They could cut him and pay like $1 million. That's it. And for me and you, that's a lot of money.
Right.
But for the guy who owns the Seattle Seahawks, that's pocket change. You know? So I could see him getting cut. So yeah, I'm not touching the guy. And Spencer Ware, a week ago, just like 6 days ago, I was thinking, you know, if he falls, because he's going to fall. He's going to fall.
Yeah.
If he falls to the 8th round, I'll take him. But now, oh, man.
No.
Every carry that guy gets, that Kareem Hunt, every carry I see him do in the preseason, I'm like, okay, no, that's another round. I got to wait before I take Spencer Ware. He looks good, man. He does.
Yeah, I've seen a few highlights. So.
Again, I think it's one of the things where if I was to get Ezekiel Elliott, Spencer Ware might be an option. Because I think he will start for the beginning of the season, but I don't think he's going to finish the season. I think right around week 6, there'll be Kareem Hunt show. So again, if you draft Ezekiel Elliott, get that Ware action going. You know, hit the button, draft Ezekiel Elliott, and then remember in your mind, where is Ware?
Where is Ware? Spencer Ware. Nice.
Yeah. By the time they watch this, because I'm about to edit this in about 5 minutes, it's going to take me like half a day to do that because it's my first time. By the time you guys see this, we're probably going to be like 36 hours away from the draft. So, watch this or don't. Either way. But if you watched it, don't take my players, okay? Just don't do it. Don't be that guy. Don't draft Marshawn Lynch in the 2nd round. Just let me have him. Just let me have him. You saw my face. You saw that smile. Make the guy happy, man. Just make me happy.
Let's wrap this one up, and then we'll come back and we'll do a little draft recap show, right?